Hello my friends, welcome back to the bench, and today we're going to be going over how I airbrush and get that smooth, glossy, shiny, smooth surface that I get, because I got the question a few times within the last couple of weeks, and they say I go fast when I airbrush, but I don't. On the last coat I do not. It's a technique I learned from my dad. I'll show you. We'll go over that in the booth, and that's what this video is. I'm going to show you how I get that, how I achieve that finish. But first up, I want to announce the winner of the air compressor and the airbrush, the Sparmax, and it's Lori DeWolf. We've already exchanged info, so that package will be going out to you. Congratulations on Monday. I will send it out on Monday. It's currently Saturday afternoon right now when I'm filming this. So congratulations, Lori. You won a great package, that air compressor, that great airbrush. You're on your way to airbrush heaven, we will say. Don't worry if you didn't win. I have a lot more giveaways coming up and plenty of chances for you guys to win. And I'm going to have good giveaways too, airbrushes and everything else. So never fear, your name will still be picked if you are lucky. Anyway, this video is on solvent paint. So I grabbed most of my solvent paints here. And this is the technique it works with. This with an acrylic, it's a separate technique. I went over that technique a year or two ago on my channel, and it's a very popular video, how I airbrush acrylics perfect every time. It's a separate technique. These solvents have their own technique. Excuse my language, not language. How am I speaking? I'm still waiting for a couple of more dental surgeries to go on, so I'm missing a couple of fronts here, and sometimes I'm having trouble pronouncing certain words. Just being up front with you guys. Anyway, let's go across the board. I'll show you the solvent paints that this will work with, and even more beyond here. I just grabbed this is how many paints I have in my collection. Too many. SMS, this is an acrylic lacquer, so we're talking lacquer. MRP, these are from Slovakia, and acrylic lacquer, same thing. I'll be reviewing these paints pretty soon. I like these paints actually. Finishers, these are lacquers from Japan. Oh, there it is, made in Japan, right across the front. Gaia, I just got my first giant batch of Gaia notes in, and I'm waiting for the second big batch, and then we're going to be reviewing these. Otakon, my own Mecha Empire airbrush lacquers. These are airbrush ready. Display, their lacquer. Model Master, this is their enamel. Can we get the word enamel? Enamel. And even though these are out of print, let's say, no longer made, they still work. The square bottles, which I do have right here. Let me grab one. Reach behind me and grab one. This is the same formula basically. They just had way more colors, unique colors here. But these are two enamels. It works with that. This is E7 paints. Have you heard of E7? They're basically a knockoff of Gaia. But I have a lot of these, and I'll be reviewing these soon too. We're going to be doing a comparison to the Gaia paints. Here we go. Tamiya lacquer. That's a beautiful color. Moto paints. Forest green. Nice green. Sonin 7. I'm working on this now. We're going to have a full test on these. Here we go. Sonin 7. Weird name, but some really good looking paint from the early test. All right. Hobby Mio. AK Real Colors. These are like the traditional, right here, Tamiya paints. These are an acrylic solvent-based paint, like an acrylic lacquer, like the first two I showed you here. If you can thin it with leveling thinner, with lacquer thinner, then this technique will work. Tamiya's traditional acrylic paint, but of course it's a solvent, as you see a flame logo there. Mr. Color, the standard Mr. Color. This will also work with, hold on, let me grab one. See guys, just when I thought I grabbed every paint I have, I missed some. Aqueous, which is the same as this, is the same as this. These acrylic lacquers. So yeah, it'll work with the Aqueous paint line. As I said, if you're thinning your paint with a lacquer thinner, this technique works. Let's put this over here. Yellow next to yellow. All right, where are we? Missed the color we already showed you. Jump Wind. What color is this? Grass green. And my own Mecha Empire Enamel lineup. This is Seafoam Metallic. Beautiful color. And it works with that too. As I said, it's an enamel. So the technique, they were wondering because they were watching me and I was going over the spoon and I go like this and they're trying the same thing, but they're getting this grainy look. But if you pay attention, on the last stroke, I'm going slowly. What I'm doing is, the technique I learned from my dad is, by misting on the paint a little bit further back and quickly, you're kind of making its own layer of primer. The paint is becoming its own primer. Because it dries so fast, these lacquer-based, solvent paints, when you're pretty far back, by the time it's hitting the spoon, it's pretty much dry. So when you see me going across like this, I'm putting on a couple layers. A lot of times you don't need it with primer anyway, but I still use the technique even over primer. But these are raw spoons, and you go over quick, and then I go in and I'm coming in closer and slower for the final coat on that wet coat, and that's how we are achieving the nice glossy smooth wet look, particularly on glosses. Now for flats you can still do the same process, but it's just going to dry completely flat. But for this purpose I'll use glosses so you can see the finish here on the camera. So I got my spoons. We'll do a few of these. Let's grab these from the end. Maybe I'll even do mine here. What do you think? So I can show you an enamel. That'll be different. This is a pure lacquer, an enamel, and a solvent-based acrylic. So there's 2 or 3. We probably don't have to do all of them. But yeah, we'll go through this technique, and we're going to thin the paints traditionally, which is minimum 50-50. Minimum 50-50. Most times it's going to be 40-60. 40, 4 parts paint, 6 parts thinner. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to thin these out. I'm going to use this airbrush, and the reason I'm using this airbrush is because I want to kind of promote the fact that it's starting to go back up in price. This has been on sale, guys, on Amazon for 85 bucks for the good part of 2 weeks now, 3 weeks maybe. I bought this just to have a spare. There's 2 needle sizes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 2 needle back in my other one because I converted the other one, and then this has the 3, and so I'm going to have one of each without having to change back and forth. The price is so damn good that I couldn't resist buying one even as a spare. However, it's starting to go up in price, guys. This is up to 93 maybe, still under 100, still a bargain, as this is one of the best airbrushes I've ever used. Now the 0.2 needle, this is the Platinum 0.3. The 0.2 is on sale in the $80 range, 87, 80 something. So I'll put links below for each of these. I would grab them. I mean, one of them only has like 10 or 16 left. I don't know what there's under 20 left on, I believe, this one. So grab them while you can. Again, I will put the link. I'll remind you guys at the end. But we're going to use this airbrush for this test. Get this out of the way. And, oh, we don't want this. We're not going to use this funky bottom. This is for the spray can, I think. Take that off. We don't want that. We don't use that adapter at all. I use my quick release right here. I like the I use a Grex quick release, and the Iwata one is also good. They're both good. And we're going to adjust this. We can go full back. Oh, it's got a cover on it. Look at that. Nice cap on the front. We don't need the cap. Look at that. Fresh and ready. Just doesn't have that new car smell. That's all it's missing. We'll put that in the case. Alright guys, let me blend these up, ready for airbrushing. I'll meet you at the booth. This is all about the technique, so I'm going to show you the technique at the booth, and I hope this helps you guys who asked with getting on the same kind of layer that I'm achieving here. Alright, we'll see you at my booth, and we'll check this out. Okay guys, here we are at my Pace spray booth. I'm going to do a couple videos in the other room with the waterfall spray booth soon. I'm getting that all set up now. We're going to just be showing you my technique here now. We're going to use the Tamiya paint first. What is this, straight up orange? Yeah, just orange. All right, we are in the GSI airbrush. There we go, look at that. I am spraying at, let me look down here, 20 PSI. I'll try and get that on the screen too. So here's the technique. Now you're going to blow off the piece first. I'm just showing you there's no paint. Just going to push it forward and down. Get any dust off your piece. And then you're going to go back. I go back about 4 inches. And he was, a couple of you were commenting that they're getting it rough and grainy and dry, but that's the purpose here. That's the first coat, and like I said, I'm making my own primer. I'm making the paint a primer that it can grip the next level of paint, next layer of paint. So now, if you want to speed it up, it dries literally in less than a minute. What we're going to do here is, I'm showing you that I'm just hitting it with air. You can dry it off for like 10-15 seconds. Alright, then we're going to go quick again. Just keep it far back because you want it to dry when it hits. Alright, it's a little darker. It's drying. It's on pretty dry. It's pretty dull and semi-gloss here. So we're going to go ahead and dry it off again with just some air. We're going to go over this with a couple other colors, so. This paint dries pretty fast, man. Within 10-15 minutes, you can be handling this stuff. Alright. That's 2 layers I put in. We're starting to get the color. And I'm looking at it. Yeah, we're good to go. Now this is, here's where I'm no longer going across quickly. You know, we're going to go across slow, and we're going to come in closer. Alright? 2-3 inches apart. And we're going to go across slow. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start making... Can you see it? That darker. You see how slow I'm going? See, I'm not flying across anymore. I'm actually coming in and giving us that wet coat that I wanted. Right, slow, real. See it? And you got that deep color that now matches, you know, the cap. And it's shiny as all hell, see it? And that's it. So the first few layers, you're going to go far out and quickly. And you're going to get that dry surface finish as it's making the paint in and of itself a primer. And then I'm going to come in for that final coat. You can go in even extra layers now, even close. At this point, you're just going to get a shiny layer. See it? Perfect. I'll show you the results at the bench. Let's clean this out, and we'll put in another color. I'll even show you how I clean out this airbrush. We'll do that now. Let me grab some acetone. Okay guys, with this airbrush you take some thinner, either lacquer thinner or even acetone, and we splash some in here. You can see it's in there, and you blow some through, and then you take this right here. This is just the cap, the protective cap. This is the nozzle, right? You just unscrew it about a quarter turn. And now, no paint comes out the front because you've broken the seal. See this? And now you're just going to pull back. And see the bubbles? And you're doing an automatic back flush without even having to cover the front. So this airbrush works a little different than my Badgers and Holler and Steinbecks. See that? Now you've back flushed it out. Particularly with metallics, you want to do the back flush. Get all that metal flake out. And then... what we're going to do is we're going to recap that on, and don't blast through what you just put in, because then you're just going to put it back through the airbrush again. Tighten it up, dump it out. All right, you're going to give us a wipe. There'll be a little bit left in there. You're clean. Look at that, absolutely ready to go. At the end of every session, you want to take the needle out, wipe it down a little bit, and you should be good to go. On a weekly basis, I'll break it down. But a clean out like this is good. It should run you good for a week or two. If you don't do a ton of airbrushing, if you do a lot, once a week, twice a week, pull it apart quick. All right, let me grab another color, and I'll show you the technique one more time. All right, guys, next up, Mr. Color, number 79. This is Shine Red. This is a pure lacquer. All right, we got it loaded up. And I want to show you one thing before we continue on with my technique here. And I want to show you how good of a fine line. Now this is a 0.3, not even the 0.2. You can adjust the air with this MAC valve out the front for even more fine tuning. But if you get good with your finger, you're going to come in here. And you can even take the cap off to get closer. You know, I'm not great at this, but it's really tough doing it on the camera, the way my camera is set up too. But check this out. Check how good the line we can get with this airbrush. Look at this. And it's not even like fuzzy or anything. All right? That's how incredible. And if you're not great with your fingers, just adjust this so it just comes back to the point where you can get this fine line. Let's do it again. Fantastic. I mean, it's a really, really all-around great airbrush. You seen I did the spoon and it came out beautiful. And now we're coming in here with these fine, fine lines. So, yeah, I'm just so excited that the price of this thing, let's put the cap back on, is under $100 and worth every penny. Made in Japan. Some say it's made in the same factory as Iwata, as a lot of the parts are actually interchangeable, threads and whatnot. Anyway, let's go ahead and show the technique one more time, and then I'll show you it with my enamels. All right, here we go. Same thing. I'm going to go back 3, maybe 4 inches. All right, there's our first layer. Barely anything on there. Let's go ahead with the air drying it off. All right, I'm going to go in again with another layer quick. You know, good distance, good amount of paint. Starting to get a little bit of coloring there. Let's go back in and dry it off. Now we've created our own primer using the paint. That's pretty dry. This stuff dries quick, as I said. Now we're going to go in close, 2 inches about. And slow. Look at that. And look at that. And there we go. Beautiful. A sheet of glass. All right. I'll show them again at the bench. Let me clean this out. Same technique. We'll do my enamel in here, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, here we are. Final color to show my technique. My Mecha Empire Seafoam Metallic Enamel. Beautiful color. So this is an enamel. This is an oil-based paint. But we're going to use the same technique. Here we go. All right, 4 or 5 inches away. Give it a quick dry. Now these oil-based paints take longer to dry, so this is a little bit different than what we've been using the technique so far. But being far out like I'm doing, it's still going to give you that dryish coat like an enamel. Just air drying it now. I always show my hand that I'm not painting anything. All right, let's do another layer. This is what was confusing a lot of guys, is they were saying they go across it quick like that, and they were getting the dry results, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get, but I do that on purpose. All right, I think I got enough paint in there. Let's see if we can get a nice coat in here. It's a beautiful color so far. Here we go. I'm going to go in about 2 inches, and we're going to go slow. I'll go again. And there we go. All right. All right. Let me clean this out. I want to show you something that I forgot to show in my last video with the Mecha powders, and that's the strainer. So let me go grab that. I want to show you guys that while we're here at the booth. Here is the strainer I got, which is really good. The really fine mesh in there fits on all my cups, and because I got my seafoam green paint here, let's go ahead and do that. Not that you can see much, but if there's any bits in there, sometimes metallics will have some bits. There's a little bit there, and it's good to strain. Now this is a wonderful, easy to clean, that fits all of my brushes or cups. Fits in the cup too, if you strain it into the cup. Yeah. And I will put the link. I put the link last time, but I forgot to show it on camera. And not that this is going to show anything, but let's go ahead and just blow this paint right out. I know some guys have gotten some chunkies landing on the paint, and a lot of times certain brands too should be strained, or you get in the habit of straining all of your paint. You know. Let's go ahead and finish this spoon off and wrap this up. All right. Again, I'm drying it off with some air. All right, we're going to go in close again. Here we go. I don't know why I'm doing this twice, but let's go ahead. And that's good. Here we go. I'll put this in my dehydrator. The enamels take a little longer to dry. So, anyway, I just wanted to show you the strainer. So, we'll head back at the bench and we'll wrap this up. Alright guys, here we are, back at the bench. And with the results, oh, let me show you the strainer. Look at that, I cleaned it out. Look how clean it comes. You just shoot a little bit of acetone in there and shake it up a little bit. Comes out clean, ready for the next paint. And like I said, it fits most of my airbrushes perfectly. Well worth having. I'll put the link below for this. I've searched for a good strainer for a while. They're all too big. Or there's one that fits over the airbrush, which is kind of a pain. This one I like. Anyway, and that is my technique. And the results speak for themselves. I mean, it's like glass. It's perfect. And that's how I get... That's how I achieve this type of finish. I know I was confusing a lot of guys because I go across quickly in the beginning, but you know, I'm coming in closer and a little slower on that final shot after I achieve that that first dry layer to hold the paint in for the final layer. Oh, beautiful. So somebody was asking me about a seafoam green. I said I make a seafoam green. I just happened to use that color in this video. I just thought of that. Anyway, guys, that's the technique. Highly recommend this airbrush. If you haven't grabbed it already, it's going up. It's in the 90 range now, but it was 85 for a while. A lot of you grabbed them, and I know because you guys wrote me back that you did grab one. I'd pick this up if you even want the even finer one. You've seen how good the detail I got with this. You want to go even finer with the 0.2. You'll see right on it will be stamped 3. You can interchange the needle and nozzles on either one. You could buy a 3 head and needle if you buy the 2, and then you'll have both, which is what I had until I bought this as a spare, as an extra, because the price was so good. Then I'm just going to go ahead and have a 2 and a 3, and the other one's labeled 2, and I made it a 3. That's why I went ahead and bought the 3 this time. But pick the one you want, and yeah, highly recommended. Anyway, guys, that is the video for today. My technique on how I get a good finish. I want to let you guys know that I got Born paints finally in the house, and check this out. They got 2 forms of chrome, a mirror and a chrome. And they look weird in here, but this, oh, it's already reflecting. Look at that. So I can't wait. These just came in literally yesterday. I just got them in. I I grabbed every one that they had, every color of Born Paint. I've been trying to get them forever. And I got a bunch of finishers in too. I got finishers, primers in. Look at that. So I'm going to be testing that soon too. And Hawks is buried back here. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I'll be testing these chromes pretty soon. And I got a few other things I got to show you. And I'm going to be doing that mini spray gun very soon, because those are still in the $150 range. That's a $300 plus brush. For some reason, the price is good. But as for today, I'm going to say goodbye. I have another video to shoot when I turn this camera off for my Patreons, my fellow patrons who are members. I'm going to show a way of filtering that waterfall or any spray booth if you don't have a window. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot that now. If you're not a member of my Patreon, join below. It's only $4. It helps the channel a great well. And I'll answer your questions either on video form, or we'll go back and forth. We'll text back and forth, and I'll solve your questions that way. And it's been great. You guys have been great. And thank you guys for watching. Please thumb up the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment for any other questions. And God bless everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.